Well, hello there. Looking for something to play on PS4 or PS5 in 2022? Well, I've got you covered. Here's 30 juicy games coming out in the second half of 2022. Be sure to let me know what you're looking forward to in 2022, and especially if it didn't make the list, let's get into it. Number 30, Sniper Elite 5, an RPG developed by Rebellion. It comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It comes out on the 26th of May 2022, and once more we will reprise the role of Carl Fairburn and go up against the Third Reich. Set in France, we will enact Operation Kraken to bring down the remainder of the German Empire. During the plot, we will stumble upon MacGuffin, a device which threatens to end the war prematurely. During the game, we will see more of the renowned X-ray bullet kill mechanic. We'll also use stealth to infiltrate and complete multifaceted missions, and there's accurate weapons and tools, vehicles and artillery in the game. The developer actually went and photographed World War II era German weapons, tanks, artillery, vehicles, the whole nine, so this is really going to bang, and we will see it on the 26th. 29. Blood Hunt, a battle royale developed by Sharkmob. It's out on PS5 and PC on the 27th of April 2022. In this battle royale, you will play as a vampire on the streets of Prague with the sole task of being the last bloodsucker remaining. In this game, where Fortnite meets Bloodlines, you'll utilise weapons and supernatural powers and abilities to mow down and bloodsuck your enemies. This looks really cool. The developer has said there's not going to be any pay to win, and I really can't wait to get my fangs into this one. Number 28, God of War Ragnarok, fantasy RPG developed by Santa Monica. It's out on PS4 and PS5 at sometime in 2022. You guys know this game was going to show up on this list. We're going to be reprising the role of Kratos and Atreus in the continuation of their story, where we'll wield the Leviathan axe and the Chaos Blades once more to bring about Ragnarok, the destruction of Asgard and the end of Odin. I literally cannot wait for this game to come out. We're going to find out what Atreus' purpose is, see the end of his story, the end of Kratos' story. We get to rescue Tyr, we're going to see Freya, and explore more of the fascinating Norse mythology. 27. Trek to Yomi, a side-scroller developed by Flying Wild Hog. It comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and Series S on the 5th of May 2022. This game is a 2D side-scroller with a Kurosawa movie-inspired black and white theme, where you take up the mantle of a young samurai Hiroki who is set on a path of revenge against those responsible for destroying his home. Patience and timing are the key to the game's combat, using the opponent's strength against them by employing deft maneuvers to throw them off balance and land a killing blow. Players will face off against a myriad of enemies across beautiful and terrifying lands, including spearmen, archers, riflemen, and even beings to believe nothing more than folk tales. 26. Eiruden Chronicle Rising, a JRPG developed by Rabbit and Bear Studios. It comes out on PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out on the 10th of May 2022. Eiruden follows a tale of treasures and a town risen from the ashes. The game features fast-paced combat and town upgrades upon a 2D plane. Some of the 100 Heroes characters will be introduced in Rising, and there will be some perks for players that link the game to 100 Heroes, a sequel that comes out in 2023. Scavenge dungeons and earn materials to reconstruct New Nivea to its former glory and reap the benefits. Applying this to the sequel 100 Heroes when it releases in 2023, cross-ton content includes specific cosmetic items, valuable equipment, and trade goods. This cute little RPG looks like a ton of fun, and I can't wait to give it a go. 25. Dolmen, a sci-fi RPG developed by Massive Works Studio. Comes out on PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out on the 20th of May 2022. In the Dolmen universe, humanity is colonised far and wide. You'll be heading to the mining facility Requiem Prime, which is overrun by vicious, interdimensional enemies. It's unclear whether their arrival was intentional, accidental, or a natural phenomenon. You'll need to eradicate the infestation and find the Dolmen, a crystal that holds the key to interdimensional travel. You'll be able to wield guns and melee weapons in this intriguing title as you search for the titular Dolmen. We're getting Souls in Space vibe from the trailer, and it looks awesome. 24. The Quarry, a playable movie developed by Supermassive Games, the same developer as Until Dawn. The platforms is PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and the release date is the 10th of June 2022. The Quarry tells the story of the final day of summer camp when a group of teenage counsellors, the Hackett's Quarry Camp, are hosting a party. This ends up becoming a fateful, blood-soaked evening filled with horror. To say any more would likely ruin the story, but you can be sure that each character will be playable, they will have their own turn, and your choices will determine who lives and who dies. 23. DNF Duel, a fighter developed by Arc System Works, comes out on PS4, PS5, PC on the 28th of June 2022. If you're into fighters, you definitely want to keep an eye on this one. It's a Japanese-styled 2D fighter game. There's a whole bunch of characters, everything a great fighter should have, and it looks awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on this and try out all the possible combinations. 22. Saints Row, an RPG developed by Volition. It comes out on PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Series X, Series S, and it's on the 23rd of August 2022. The Saints Row reboot will focus on 3 new characters, Kevin, Nina and Eli, who create a Saints gang and launch a criminal empire in an attempt to pay off their student loan debt. Yo, sounds legit to me. You'll play the 4th founding member known as the Boss. Now to be clear, this is still very much a Saints Row game. You can expect open world hijinks, run and gun, gameplay combat, and plenty of daft side quest activities. It's going to be like GTA that's got all the Saints Row goofy glory. And this game has an unparalleled level of customization that I have never seen before. You can customize your body, your clothes, everything, even socks. Not to mention cars, guns, and probably just about everything else in the game. 21. Steel Rising, an RPG developed by Spider Studio, the team behind Bound by Flame and Greedfall. It comes out on PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out on the 8th of September 2022. You'll play as a clockwork female protagonist called Aegis, who will attempt to overthrow the robotic army of King Louis XVI as part of a revolution to stop the violence tearing apart the streets of an alternate dystopian Paris. Yeah, it's quite the departure from the team's previous games. We're getting strong Souls/Bloodborne vibes from the game as you fight a wide variety of steampunk-inspired enemies, from steampunk animals to steampunk bosses on wheels with melee attacks and a fan blade shield. 20. Test Drive Unlimited, a driving game developed by KT Racing. It's on PS4, PS5, PC, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out on the 22nd of September 2022. So this game is a driving game combined with some kind of lifestyle simulator. You get to drive around, you can race people, it's an MMO style game. You also can go to casinos to bet money, you can actually bet cars, you can win cars at the casino, you can buy them. It looks really unique, it looks really fun, and I can't wait to try it out. 19. Instinction, a horror survival RPG developed by Hashbane Entertainment, comes out on PS5, PC, Xbox X and Series X, and it's for Q3 of 2022. So this game is like Jurassic Park meets Alien Isolation. You're on an island somewhere. Your goals are to stay alive and or kill dinosaurs through any means necessary. You can use weapons or stealth to complete either objective. 18. Forspoken, a fantasy RPG developed by Luminous Productions and published by Square Enix. It comes out on PS5 and PC on the 11th of October 2022. So in Forspoken you play as a young woman called Frey who's about to turn 21. She's transported magically to a world called Athia where magic exists. It's a fantasy world, and she has a self-aware cuff on her wrist that gives her magic powers. Your ultimate goal is to get back home, and the way that you're going to do this is to challenge Sina, the most powerful evil being in this world, and to do that you're going to have to take down hordes of enemies, dragons, meet the indigenous people, and it looks like an absolute blast. 17. Hogwarts Legacy, another fantasy RPG developed by Avalanche Software, on PS4, PS5, PC, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. It comes out on Q4 2022. So in this Harry Potter world, it's actually set in the 1800s, so you're not going to be seeing the characters that we know from the books and the movies. However, there will be some characters like the ghost that we see before. You will follow the life of a young witch or wizard where you will be assigned a house. At your time at Hogwarts, you will actually study like a student, doing all herbology, defense against dark arts and potion making, Quidditch, the lot. But the main story is to uncover and stop a goblin criminal plot during this timeline. There's going to be everything from the movies, the Room of Requirement, the shifting staircases, all magical goodies, various dungeons for you to explore. Looks like an absolute blast. 16. Gotham Knights, a co-op RPG developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal on PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. It comes out on the 25th of October 2022. So in this game, Batman and Commissioner Gordon have both died, and you will take up the mantle of Robin and the other Gotham Knights to defend Gotham City from criminals, and some of our favourite DC villains. There's a bunch of different characters you can play, all of which look like they have unique abilities, some melee, some ranged. You can be fighting different types of enemies. Looks really fun, and let's hope this one isn't a commercial failure. 15. A Plague Tale Requiem, a stealth RPG developed by Asobo Studio on PS5, PC, Switch, Xbox Series X and X, and it comes out in 2022. So we can see that both Amicia and Hugo have aged quite a bit from its predecessor, A Plague Tale Innocence, which by the way was a ton of fun, so I can't wait to see what the new game holds for us. We can see Amicia wielding a crossbow, so clearly there's a few more lovely tools and weapons for us to use. The pair have moved south to a new region to start a new life and try and keep Hugo's curse, the Macula, under control. 14. Stray, a cat RPG developed by Blue 12 on PS4, PS5 and PC, and it releases sometime in 2022. So in this game, you literally play as a cat. You will start off the game injured, taken from your family, and you've landed in a strange city filled with strange yet friendly robotic inhabitants. During the game, you're going to have to solve puzzles, explore, and this is going to involve normal cat behavior like knocking things off of great heights, of course, and being a cat, scratching up sofas. But not all of these interactions will be friendly, which is where this game is going to get kind of interesting, in my opinion. So there's these creatures that are antagonistic, they're harmful, and you have to gain abilities to circumvent these creatures, to kill them, to rescue inhabitants, and to find your way back home and to your family. 13. Arc Raiders, a free-to-play co-op game developed by Embark, PS5, PC, Xbox X and Series S, and it's out at sometime in 2022. So in this game, you play as humans, and there are killer robots of unknown origin that literally fall out of the sky, and your goal is to kill them as a team. This game looks really cool. There's loads of different robots, loads of different mechanics, and we see from the trailer that there's a bit of stealth involved, there's some combat involved, and there's also some massive bosses. I think this game is going to be really fun. It's an entirely different take on the free-to-play co-op, so rather than battle royales, we get some just pure PvE co-op, so I can't wait to try this one. 12. Century Age of Ashes, a dragon riding free-to-play PvP game developed by Playwing, and it's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and Series S at some point in 2022. So this game is actually already out on PC, it's just coming to consoles. Now in the game, these dragons, they are not like your normal boring starfighting. They have a deft turn rate, they can do things that these other aircraft games cannot. So in the game, there are 3 dragon classes you can play as: a support class, a damage class, and a stealth class across 4 different games and a bunch of maps. So the aim of the game is either to kill your opponents, or you can play objective-based games like Century Age of Ashes' own unique take on Capture the Flag, whereby you have to capture a flag and then take that flag through specified gates in order to win and try not to die while you're carrying the flag. Or a game mode whereby you get bot dragons, you kill them to capture the gold, and then you have to deposit the gold into your vault and or prevent the enemy from doing so. There's a mechanic where you can steal their gold, the mechanics where you can prevent them from depositing their gold by stealing their key. All in all, it looks like a bunch of fun and it's free to play, so who can pass that up? 11. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake. This MMORPG, now being developed by Aspyr, not BioWare, is coming out on PS5 at some point in 2022. So the game is not just going to be, you know, your bog standard remaster with a coat of next-gen paint slapped on it. It's being rebuilt from the ground up by a different developer. We can expect the same story with newly updated yet similar mechanics. 10. Ghostbusters Unleashed, a cooperative multiplayer game developed by Ilphonic for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and out on sometime in 2022. So this game will feature a story, but it is primarily cooperative based. So you can either play as Ghostbuster, where your goal is to use your particle throwers, just like the movies, get in the classic Ghostbuster car, go to places, catch ghosts, or as a really interesting mechanic, you can also play as a ghost and troll the Ghostbusters. So it's going to be really fun to try out both characters and see how it is. 9. Marvel's Midnight Suns, a strategy RPG developed by Firaxis Games, the developer of the XCOM series, for PS4, PS5, PC, Switch, Xbox One, Series S and X, and it's out at some time in 2022. So the game will have you play as an original Marvel character, resurrected, the daughter of Lilith, the ultimate baddie in the game. You can customize this character, and as a strategy game, you can use all the different Marvel characters in the game with certain moves and abilities to use them correctly to take out your enemies, with the ultimate goal being to take down Lilith, the mother of all monsters. All the Marvel games, bar Marvel's Avengers, have banged, so this one should be yet another banger. 8. Project Eve, a sword melee RPG developed by Shift Up for PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Series S and X. So in Project Eve, the planet has been overrun by invaders known as natives, and you play as Eve, the lone survivor of Paratrooper Squad, and the aim of the game is to team up with new members, fight down hordes of enemies, and reclaim the planet. In the game, you can expect to mow down hordes of enemies by hacking and slashing away, a little bit of platforming, and over-the-top bosses, so this looks like a ton of fun. 7. 6 Days in Fellujah, an FPS RPG developed by Hardwire Games, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Series S and X for Q4 of 2022. So this game is an FPS mixed with a documentary with a focus on urban warfare to teach people while playing a fun game about the 2004 army in Iraq. During the game, it's all procedurally generated, so every time you play a mission, it's like playing it again for the first time, so you don't know where enemies are going to be, you don't know who's behind what door, you don't know if you're safe or not, so it's going to generate that feeling of fear and unknown, the same as for the soldiers first in the encounter in Fellujah back in 2004. 6. The System Shock Remake, a sci-fi RPG developed by Night Dive Studios, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, and Series S and X, and it comes out in 2022. So this game actually came out in 1994. I wasn't even born then. However, the rights have now been bought by Night Dive Studios, and they are doing a full remake. The plot sees a nameless hacker attempted to stop a rogue AI of their own creation. The rogue AI has seized a bioweapon which it plans to seed Earth with, and as the cause of all this mess, it is now your job to stop said plot against Earth. The rogue AI has turned the station inhabitants into mutants or cyborgs or killed them, and you must work your way through all of it to stop the AI. This game was an absolute classic, and I can't wait to see what they do with the remake. 5. The Callisto Protocol, a survival horror game developed by Striking Distance Studios for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, out in 2022. So the game is set in 2320. This adventure is set on the Jupiter moon humankind has never set foot on, Callisto. The game revolves around horrific creatures and a conspiracy unfolding on the moon Callisto's dingy, dangerous black iron prison. As you can see from the trailer, the game looks absolutely brutal. There's going to be a lot of scare elements involved. You're never going to know what's behind a door, what's behind a corner, but it's all about mystery. So we'll have to see what the game holds for us. 4. The Invincible, a retro sci-fi RPG developed by Starwood Industries on PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out in 2022. The Invincible is a first-person sci-fi thriller set in a retro future timeline. Waking up as a space scientist on a hostile planet, you embark on a mysterious mission to find the missing crew of your spaceship. Survival is a matter of making the correct choices taken whilst uncovering the secrets of the planet, which are bigger than anyone thought. 3. The Witcher 3 PS5 Remaster, a fantasy RPG developed by CD Projekt Red on PS5, Switch, Xbox Series X and S, and it comes out in 2022. What more do I need to say about the legendary fantasy RPG The Witcher? It's being updated for PS5, it's an amazing game, and we're also going to be getting some content from the show, and hopefully we should get the PS4 DLCs with it for free. 2. Vampire Masquerade Swansong, a choice-based RPG developed by Big Bad Wolf for PS4, PS5, PC, Switch, Xbox One, and Series S and X, and it comes out in 2022. The plot of the game will see you assume the roles of different vampires with different skills, such as infiltration and diplomacy. In the game, some of your brethren have been brutally murdered, and you must uncover who by any means necessary, and this is going to involve a great many things, like infiltration and diplomacy. As you progress through the game, making the correct choices will be paramount to your survival and completing your mission. 1. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, an RPG developed by Massive Entertainment for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and it's out in 2022. So we'll be playing as a Na'vi on Pandora, and it is a unique storyline separate from the movie. However, there is the omnipresent human threat, no doubt after the precious metal for 20 million a kilo unobtainium, and we can see everything great from the movie transposed into a game. You got the mechanic where you can do that neurological merge with creatures around and fly and put us in our place. Where the game is only on next-gen consoles, we can expect bigger maps, more NPCs, and just an overall better game, and it already looks a hell of a lot better than the 2009 Avatar game. Check out my most popular video, 20 PS5 secrets. Don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you in the next one.